Abraham Davenport, John Greenleaf, Whittier. In the old days, a custom laid aside with breeches and cocked hats, the people sent their wisest men to make the public laws. And so, from a brown homestead, where the Sound drinks the small tribute of the Mianus, waved over by the woods of Ripoums, and hallowed by pure lives and tranquil deaths, Stamford sent up to the councils of the state wisdom and grace an Abraham Davenport. Single quote: "He was on a May day of the far old year 1780, that there fell over the bloom and sweet life of the spring, over the fresh earth and the heaven of noon, a horror of great darkness, like the night and day of which the Norland sagas tell, the twilight of the gods. The low-hung sky was black with ominous clouds, save where its rim was fringed with a dull glow, like that which climbs the crater's sides from the red hell below. Birds ceased to sing, and all the barnyard fowls roosted. The cattle at the pasture bars lowed, and looked homeward. Bats on leathern wings flitted abroad. The sounds of labor died. Men prayed, and women wept. All ears grew sharp to hear the doom blast of the trumpet shatter the black sky, that the dreadful face of Christ might look from the rent clouds, not as he looked a loving guest at Bethany, but stern as justice and inexorable law. Meanwhile in the old State House, dim as ghosts, sat the lawgivers of Connecticut, trembling beneath their legislative robes. Ampersand quo. It is the Lord's great day. Let us adjourn. Ampersand quo. Some said. And then, as if with one accord, all eyes were turned to Abraham Davenport. He rose, slow cleaving with his steady voice the intolerable hush. Ampersand quo. This well may be the day of judgment which the world awaits. But be it so or not, I only know my present duty, and my Lord's command to occupy till he come. So at the post where he hath set me in his providence, I choose, for one, to meet him face to face, no faithless servant frightened from my task, but ready when the Lord of the harvest calls. And therefore, with all reverence, I would say, let God do his work, we will see to ours. Bring in the candles. Ampersand quo. And they brought them in. Then by the flaring lights the speaker read, albeit with husky voice and shaking hands, an act to amend and act to regulate the shad and alewife fisheries. Whereupon wisely and well spake Abraham Davenport, straight to the question, with no figures of speech save the 10 Arab signs, yet not without the shrewd dry humor natural to the man, his awestruck colleagues listening all the while, between the pauses of his argument, to hear the thunder of the wrath of God break from the hollow trumpet of the cloud. And there he stands in memory to this day, erect, self-poised, a rugged face, half seen against the background of unnatural dark, a witness to the ages as they pass, that simple duty hath no place for fear. He ceased. Just then the ocean seemed to lift the half-faced moon in sight. And, shoreward, o'er the waters gleamed, from crest to crest, a line of light, such as of old, with solemn awe, the fishers by Gennesaret saw, when dry-shod o'er it walked the Son of God, tracking the waves with light where'er his sandals trod. Silently for a space each eye upon that sudden glory turned cool from the land the breeze blew by, the tent ropes flapped, the long beach churned its waves to foam. On either hand stretched, far as sight, the hills of sand, with bays of marsh, and capes of bush and tree, the wood's black shoreline loomed beyond the meadowy sea. The lady rose to leave. Ampersand quo. One song, or hymn, ampersand quo. They urged, ampersand quo. Before we part. Ampersand quo. And she, with lips to which belong sweet intuitions of all art, gave to the winds of night a strain which they who heard would hear again, and to her voice the solemn ocean lent, touching its harp of sand, a deep accompaniment.